Hi, welcome to AmalgamNation. This week's vid is about the classic game Dungeon Keeper Gold, which includes both the original Dungeon Keeper and its popular expansion pack, The Deeper Dungeons. I want to apologise for lack of game footage for this one. This game is currently incompatible with Windows 10, and the Windows XP machine I have access to is not capable of recording footage. Now, like previous games I've done vids on, this game is a real-time strategy game. However, Dungeon Keeper puts you in the role of the Keeper, the almost all-powerful invisible entity that controls the evil creatures of the world. In other words, you're the bad guy. This game, as the name implies, revolves heavily around your dungeon. You are the evil invaders. You sneak into the territory of the heroes and build your dungeon, trying not to be noticed until the time is right. You have sufficient evil creatures at your call. Creatures like the lowly beetle, fly, imp and spider, all the way up to the mighty horned reaper, who is your strongest creature. You might be wondering how you can have flies and spiders as your minions when spiders eat flies. When they come across each other, they will fight each other unless you stop them. On the rare occasion that this happens, you will need to build a second lair and keep the flies in one and the spiders in the other, unless you want to have your minions killing each other. The same goes for vampires and warlocks. This is my third strategy game in a row, and to be honest, when it comes to talking about these games, they all become a little samey. Same goes for any game if you're repeatedly playing the same type. So this is going to be a short vid. There's only one resource you need in Dungeon Keeper, and that is gold or treasure, depending on what you want to call it. Your minions are only with you for as long as you can afford to pay them, so keep this in mind. Your imps are the only exception to this. You can even summon new imps using one of your spells as the Keeper. To aid you in your quest to conquer the realms and turn them to evil, you can create doors and traps that will help stop, or at least slow down, the realm's heroes in their quest to stop you. You also get different spells, as I mentioned. You get spells like Lightning Strike, Heal, Create Imp and Possess Creature. Before I end this vid, there's a couple of things I want to do. First, I want to mention that your creatures eat living chickens, and you can possess one of the chickens using the Possess Creature spell and experience what it's like to be picked up and eaten by one of your minions. Despite having so little to say about this game, it remains to this day as one of my favourite games, and should EA, the current owners of the game series, decide to make a new one, I would happily play it. Lastly, before I go, I want to give a shout out to Nerd Lowdown. I was fortunate enough to meet one of these guys at Dublin Comic Con recently and had a nice chat with him. Nerd Lowdown is a site that does written reviews on everything nerdy and nerd related. I've been meaning to do this little shout out for them since Dublin Comic Con a couple of weeks ago, so keep up the good work, guys. Your site looks awesome. As always, remember, play to game and game to play.